Hello everyone, so welcome to my video. My name is Trishna and this is my first YouTube video. I am very nervous but also really excited, and we won't know how it goes until we actually see it, so let's get on with it. So since this is my first video, I thought it would be interesting to get to know me through my books. So as you can tell by the title, this is the top 10 favorite books of all time video, and I am so excited for this because I love talking about these books. They are some of the closest books to my heart, and I keep rereading these books, and I think that's what makes books so interesting, is that every time you reread a part or you reread some quote, you learn something new, you find something you didn't the first time you read it. Like a lot of times I found the character development which I didn't pay much attention to the first time, but since I knew the story already, when I was reading it the second time, I paid more attention to the characters and how they evolved throughout the book. And I feel like that's very important, like character development and character driven books. I love character driven books. So I really love these books because every time I reread them, I find something new. I find something new that I learn. So yeah, and one such book that I absolutely learned a lot from the second time is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is my 10th favorite book. Yeah, we are going backwards because like I want the ending to be this grand reveal of my first, like my top book, but I think most people would know that because I talk about that constantly on my Instagram. But if you're new here, let's see if you can guess it by my other books that are on my top 10 list. So yeah, this is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I love this book because first of all, it's fantasy, and second of all, it is enemies to lovers, guys. Like, how can you not like that? And when I say enemies, I mean enemies, because like they're sent to kill each other. They are hunting each other throughout the book, and it's amazing. I love how the author wrote the book, and I love both the main characters' character development. There is also diversity and representation, which I really value because when I rate my books like 1 star, if there is no diversity of representation, it directly falls to a 4 even if the book is amazing. So yeah, this was a 5 star because it had all that. And then some other books that I really value and would directly go into my top list is something that was very informative. Very informative. I love books that are informative, like, because I get to learn things, and usually people say that if you read novels you don't actually learn, which is very wrong. I learned so much from novels. So like this book is Everything the Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's so good, and even though I live in India, so like I was not personally invested in Black Lives Matter, but I did like understand what is going on everywhere in the US, especially in 2020 when there was so much campaigning, in 2021 when Black Lives Matter became a huge campaign. And I think this is when I read it. It was like during August of 2021, not August, sorry, March of 2021. That's when I read this, and this gave me so much insight into the things that happen there, police brutality, and how Black lives really matter. And this, like the way Angie Thomas has written this, it gives you an insight into Star's life as well as everything that's happening in other people's lives around her. So I think this was one of the most best, like most emotional books that I read in 2021. So my 8th favorite book is by one of my favorite authors, and that's Casey McQuiston, and the book is One Last Stop. This is her second book that was released last year, and it's amazing. The way it's written, there are so many quotes in this that I just kept underlining. I didn't have tabs, so I couldn't tab it, but there are annotations inside. There are highlighted paragraphs and paragraphs of highlighted marks. But yeah, this was an amazing book, and the main thing that I loved about the book is that it has found family trope, and I absolutely adore that trope because just the closeness, the familiarity between all the characters is something that I love. And another thing is that when you usually read books, I find it very weird that there are only two main characters and there are like these bunch of side characters that you don't actually get to know much about throughout the book. Like you get to know small snippets of them, but you don't know their story. And that was the best thing, because in this you get to know the entire, not entire, but you get to know a lot of the story of the side characters. There are 4 side characters and I love them. I love them more than the main characters. But yeah, you get to know their story, and it's such a, most of their stories are so sweet and heartwarming, and even the main story is very heartwarming. The ending, like there is this twist in the ending and I felt my heart break, but then she made it all right. So this was amazing. I love this book. It was kind of emotional, like there is red, white and royal blue, and that's just full of fun, and it's so light-hearted, and even though there are emotional parts, most of it is just funny. But this was emotional. It wrecked me, especially the ending. But overall, this was a very close to my heart. This book is very close to my heart. I love reading August and Jane's love story. So yeah, this was amazing. Okay. Oh my god, I'm on a roll. Another LGBTQIA book, and honestly I can see why. So anyway, this is my 7th favorite book, and it's called I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. The way they wrote this book is, I think there are 4 or 5 pages which are just very wet with tears. Like even now it's like a little crumpled because of that, because I absolutely sobbed reading this book. And it's not just like it will keep being sad. It's not like that. They'll randomly drop a joke in there and you're crying, but then you suddenly laugh. Reading this was like a roller coaster. I'm not even kidding, because you keep, like, honestly, like the first 20 pages and the last 100 pages are very emotional, but in the middle there's just a lot of fun parts. And I love Nathan. The way Mason wrote Nathan is so good. Like I love him. And then Ben, oh my god, they are the most greatest character I've ever read. Like their evolution, the way they grow, and the way, like, at first they don't correct anyone, but then throughout the book you see them correct everyone, take their hold, be the person they want to be. And I think that's very important. And this is one of the, like, I think I didn't know what non-binary meant before reading this book. I was only 15, so let it be. So yeah, I didn't know what it meant, but after reading the way Mason has written it, you get to know so much about non-binary and everything, and what it means to have pronouns. It taught me how important pronouns are and how everything is. I just love this book. It was so well written, and I will never stop talking about this. I think I've been talking about it since the day I read it, because it's just so good. And I love any book that makes me cry for 100 pages. So yeah, this was amazing. I keep saying that for every book, but come on, they are my top 10, so obviously they are amazing, and this was. So we are up to my top 6 book, and this isn't a book, this is a series, and it's one of those series that gives me nostalgia every time I look at the covers, and it is the Percy Jackson series. Honestly, these books are literally my childhood. I love every single one of them. And this was like, I read them when I was 12 years old, and they are 12 years old in this book. And the way you feel connected to Percy, the way you feel connected to Annabeth and all of the other characters was, I really liked it. Like, this is literally the middle schooler book that you will find. I think this is our generation's classics. They were so good. And I think this is where my love for fantasy started, and Greek mythology too. Like, I was obsessed with Greek mythology for like 3 years. Like, everywhere you would go, any small thing would happen, I would be like, Ares did this, and this is what Poseidon would do, this is what Percy would do. But yeah, these are literally my childhood. I loved reading them. I would have added Heroes of Olympus here, but Mark of Athena scarred me. House of Hades punched me, and I do not want to talk about them right now, or I will start crying. So we are not going to add Heroes of Olympus here. It's just Percy Jackson, the Golden Trio, the origin of Golden Trio, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. So we are up to my fifth favorite book, and this is a very newly found book. It's called Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And I think I read it in October of 2021. Most of these are from early on in 2021, but this is a new one, and it's a YA romance. It is academic rivals to lovers, and I feel like that is the superior trope. Like, even in enemies to lovers, there is a separate part of academic rivals to lovers, and that bypasses enemies to lovers, because this was amazing. The way they have these like witty banters that they keep going on, but it's not there to harm each other. It's just the way they are, the way they talk. And that is not the part that I mainly loved about, like, obviously I loved it. The main thing that I loved about this book is how the author and the main character Rowan, the way they defend romance novels. Like, usually, even I have gone through this, people see people who read romance novels as intellectually not great, and they think romance novels, like, they honestly, like, people believe that every single romance novel is erotica. And I find it so funny, because, like, these are some of the cutest books, and this is the book that I would want if I ever have children, which probably I won't. But if I ever have children, like, this would be the book I would give them when they are like 11 or 12. Like, this is so good, and everything that Rowan says, the way they both are with each other, is so cute and so fun. And she is also in the process of writing a book, and I connected to her on that level because I have a book. If you didn't know, I've written a book, and I connected with her on that level. And also the cover, look at that, it's so simple, so minimalistic, but at the same time so cute. And one of my best friends recommended this book, and you know what the funny part is? 3 of these books are recommended by her, which is honestly, I find it hilarious, because like, her taste in books is amazing, and I'm so thankful, because even this is one of those books I keep rereading. Like, the ending is so wholesome, and because I like the realistic ending, because they just got out of high school and stuff. The way the author gave the ending, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just going to say it was a very realistic ending that I really enjoyed. So yeah, this is my 5th favorite book, and I loved it. So now we are to my 4th favorite book, and it is The Girls Have Been by Tessa Sharp. And I love how there are so many different genres that I'm talking about, because I am not the kind of person who spreads a lot of genres, because till I was in 9th grade, I obsessively used to read fantasy, and then in 9th and 10th, I obsessively read romance. But I really wanted to read more books from other genres, so last year I read a lot of different books, and this is one I found. The same as Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, this was also recommended by the same friend, and I am so thankful for her, because this was amazing. And I didn't go into it thinking it would be great, because I hadn't read a lot of thrillers before that, and even though the blurb is very interesting and intriguing, I didn't go in with high hopes. And I think that is what made this book even better, because since the first freaking page, it was amazing. Also, LGBTQ representation in this, loved it. Like, Iris and Nora are my soulmates. This was I have to keep stop doing that anyway. This was amazing. I cannot go into detail without spoiling this, because every single page of this book is important. But yeah, I really love the fact that this was not a linear narrative. And what is linear narrative is basically, it wasn't in a chronological order. There were a lot of flashbacks in this, and I loved them because the way the author tied the flashback and what Nora learned in that flashback to how she implemented that in the present, in what is happening in the bank. I think that was amazing because I love such books. I love having the flashback and then that being important to that part of the story, that chapter. I think that was really well written, so compliments to the chef. Now, top three, y'all. Top three, like the excitement begins. But yeah, so this is also a series which is very heavy. It's King of Scars and Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo. Like, I love these books. This entire series, Grey Showers, is one of the closest series I have to my heart, and every single character in these books is so well written. You get to know everything about them. You know what the funniest part is? Like, these two books are some of the fastest books I've read. I completed both of them, like this in how many hours? I think 14 hours, and this in 20. Yeah, this took me 2 days, but this I completed in 14 hours because I was so excited to read about Nikolai, Nina, and Zoya, because all three of them are my favorite characters from the previous books. So yeah, this was amazing. And then Rule of Wolves. This book, even though I'm putting the series as the third, if you asked me to rate the Grishaver's books in order, this would be my top one because this is so good. And the ending, you get to see so many characters. Like, if you have read the books, you know what I'm talking about. I was so happy and so excited when I got to know that people would be showing up. But this also, there is middle part. Again, people who know why. I sobbed. I cried like I was going to die the next day. This was a roller coaster. This was so emotional. This was another amazing epic series that I completed, both of them within 3 days, which cannot be healthy. Anyway, moving on to my top two. Since I already spoke about one last top, and I spoke about Red, White and Royal Blue, I think you know what this is. Red, White and Royal Blue, it's my second favorite book, and I recently tabbed and annotated it. Like, it's so pretty. I love it. Like, it was already pretty, like so many colors, but now it has more colors. I love this book. And recently Casey McQuiston said there is going to be a collector's edition copy that is going to be released in October, and there is a bonus chapter from Henry's point of view, and there's also some merch, so I'm really excited. I love Henry. I think I love Henry more than Alex, though he's very annoying in some of, like, two places. I got so pissed at Henry, but again, character development. So I love this, and I think Casey McQuiston's main part is found family, because even in this, the six of them, Nora, June, Alex, Henry, Bay, and Pez, yeah, they are like I want them in my friend group. I want all of them. I want to be in their friend group. More than the story, I think I enjoyed the characters in this book, but the story is also good. And while I was picking this up, like the first time I picked it up, this was very hyped in 2020, and it's still hyped, but 2021 it kind of died down, and I picked it up in 2021. So I was like, the reason I didn't pick it up is because it has a politics background, and I hate politics. I don't like politics, so I was like, maybe I won't like it because it will have all that. But there is a freaking female president of the United States, so obviously I love the book. I loved everything. Y'all, we are up to my first favorite, and I feel like I'm going to talk about this for a long time, which I shouldn't do, and also not give spoilers. I shouldn't give spoilers, remember that. Okay, so obviously, Six of Crows and Cricket Kingdom by Levi Dugo. This book, it started off with such a bang. Like, every single character is so great. And I'm actually doing a reread. I am only this much inside. I'm like 5 chapters in, and I just started tabbing and annotating. So yeah, I'm actually rereading it, and I'm so excited because I kind of forgot the ending of Six of Crows. I remember the ending of Cricket Kingdom, like obviously, but I forgot the ending of Six of Crows and the starting of Cricket Kingdom. So I think it will feel like I'm reading it for the first time. But yeah, this book, speechless, like especially the characters. I would give my life for any of the crows, any of them. I would give my life for them. I love Kaz, I love Inej. Nina is like my soulmate. If she would say yes, I would go marry her. And Violin, and okay, something that really pisses me about Violin is not about I love Violin, but something that really pisses me off is that throughout Bookstagram I see people infantilizing them. I think that's that word. But yeah, they keep calling him baby and all that, and that's not right. And since Jack's casting, they have been calling him that, and it's just so weird. Like, he's a 26-year-old guy, you can't do that. And it's just weird. I just wanted to say that. But yeah, of all the characters, though in this I did not like Matthias, and I regret it because he is amazing in Cricket Kingdom. And which character did I miss? Jasper! Oh my god! Seriously, he was amazing except for his gambling problem. But then yeah, amazing. And the bi-representation, like, I don't know, like, it's okay. So basically, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but because we don't get to know till King of Scars. But anyway, Jasper and Nana are bisexuals, and my heart, when I found out, it literally soared. Like, I could feel me getting happy from the inside, which is very weird. But yeah, that was amazing. Like, I might actually have a chance with Nana. So yeah, and Cricket Kingdom, this book broke me. Like I said with I Wish You All the Best, I cried almost throughout the book, which I do not think is healthy. But after I completed the book, I went and checked the mirror. I was glowing. So get something out of tears. Yeah, this book, the only thing that pisses me off about this book is the way the back cover is printed. I don't know why it's cross, and I don't know if that's just my book or if this was like a set of books. But I got so angry when it came, and it's not like I ordered them separately. This is perfect. For some reason, this is crooked. Oh, Cricket Kingdom. No. I did not mean to do that, but yeah. This was amazing. Another thing that pisses me off, I think, except for King of Scars, all the books have them. Why? Why do you have to do that? You do not have to do that. We know it is a Netflix show. You do not have to print it on the books. But moving on. Yeah, these are two of my best books, and even though this was light-hearted and this was emotional, for some reason I like this. I think I like crying. I glow because of that, so who really cares? So yeah, these are two of my all-time favorite. Like, this series is everything to me. And the characters. Another, oh yeah, found family. I think most of these books have found family. All of them do. Six of Crows does. Red, White and Royal Blue does. King of Scars, kind of, yeah. The Girls Have Been does. Okay, Today, Tonight, Tomorrow doesn't, because there are not a lot of side characters. It's set in a span of 2 days, totally focused on Rowan and Neil, so it doesn't. But I think if they would have prolonged it, there are a few side characters and we could have gotten an amazing found family. Yeah, all of these have found family. Sheesh. Okay, and now, like, I completed all the top 10, but now for some honorable mentions. First off, we have Shadow and Bone. I don't have Ruin and Rising. I have Shadow and Bone and Season 2. My Ruin and Rising is with one of my friends who's had it for over 3 months. But our exams were going on and I don't think she completed it either. But yeah, give it back to me. I want a complete collection. But yeah, so Shadow and Bone. The only reason I was saying in the start, like, you keep reading books. I absolutely, okay, not hated it, but I really disliked the series the first time I read it, especially Shadow and Bone. I felt it was too slow, and I felt like Alina was very self-absorbed, and she didn't really have, even though she had so much power, she didn't know how to yield it, and I think that's what the point is. But I just feel like she didn't know the strength of her own power and she didn't accept it. So I was kind of pissed off at that in the first book. And I love Siege and Storm though because Nikolai. But yeah. But I really love the book by Ruin and Rising, and then I reread it and then I watched the show, and this is now one of my favorite books as well. But my top 10 are much better, so yeah. Okay, my other favorite book that actually would have been in my top 5, the only reason it isn't is like the show, the series is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. There are 3 books. This was only released like last year and it is amazing. I love these books so much. I never thought I'd love a murder mystery book, but really well written. Holly Jackson is a miracle worker. I would build her a shrine if I could. But yeah, the only reason I did not add it in the list is because I'm only halfway through this. Like, I am here. And even though it's amazing, like, I'm really enjoying this. It's better than the first 2 even. It's amazing. The only reason I'm not adding it because there is a chance that the ending might disappoint me, because that's what happens to me with trilogies. The ending usually disappoint me. So hopefully it doesn't. I'm really looking forward to the ending. Hopefully, most probably it won't. But just in case, I do not want to add it. But honorable mentions because I love these books. So yeah, that was the end of today's video, and if you really liked it, if you want to see me do more, go subscribe to my channel and like this video, and all the links to my social media down, Instagram, Storygraph, some other things. So you can go follow me on there and you can see what I do in real life and not on videos. This is also my real life, so yeah. Anyway, subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.